My grandma always had these little sayings. Don't whistle at night, it calls bad spirits. Or never answer a voice you hear on the wind. My brother Leo and I used to laugh at them. We were city kids, and her old country wisdom seemed so silly. But there was one rule she was dead serious about. She told us every time we visited her cottage by the lake. Listen to me, you two, she'd say, her grip tight on our shoulders. When the fog rolls in off the water, you get inside, you lock the door, and you do not, under any circumstances, answer the door if someone knocks. No matter what you hear, no matter who you think it is. We'd nod, trying to be serious, but as soon as her back was turned, Leo would mockingly whisper, "Ooh, it's the fog monster," and we'd crack up. We're not laughing anymore. It happened last month. Leo and I, now in our 20s, went up to the cottage to clean it out after Grandma passed. It was a quick trip, just a weekend. The first day was sunny and clear. We spent it packing up old china and remembering her. It was nice. That night, I was woken up by a deep chill, the kind that gets into your bones. I got up to get another blanket and saw it through the window. The fog. It wasn't normal fog. This was a thick, creamy white wall, so dense you couldn't see the pine trees 5 feet from the porch. It moved like it was alive, slow and purposeful, swallowing the world whole. It had a silence with it too. The crickets had stopped. There was no wind. Nothing. I remembered Grandma's warning. A little shiver went down my spine, but I shook it off. I was an adult. I locked the front door anyway, just for my own peace of mind, and went back to bed. I was just drifting off when I heard it. A knock at the front door. It was soft, polite, even. Tap, tap, tap. My eyes snapped open. My heart jumped into my throat. Who could be out there? We were miles from the nearest neighbor. Leo was asleep in the next room. I could hear him snoring. I stayed frozen, listening. Tap, tap, tap. Then, a voice. "Hello? Please, can you let me in?" It was a woman's voice. It sounded young and scared. "I'm lost," she called out, her voice muffled by the thick wood of the door. The fog. I can't see. It's so cold. Every muscle in my body was tense. It sounded so real, so human. A part of me wanted to throw the door open and help her. But my grandma's voice echoed in my head. No matter what you hear. I pulled the covers over my head and prayed for it to stop. The knocking grew a little louder, a little more insistent. "Please," the woman's voice pleaded, now with a hint of tears. "I think I twisted my ankle. I just need to use your phone." I squeezed my eyes shut. I wasn't going to answer. I couldn't. Suddenly, the knocking stopped. The pleading stopped. The silence that followed was even heavier and more terrifying. Had she left? Had she fallen? A wave of guilt washed over me. What if it was a real person? Then, I heard my brother's voice. "Hey, Sarah, you awake?" It was Leo. His voice came from right outside my bedroom door. He sounded calm, normal. I heard something outside. A fox or something. I'm gonna go check it out. My blood ran cold. Leo's room was right next to mine. I had just heard him snoring seconds ago. There was no way he could have gotten up, past my door, and gone outside without me hearing his footsteps in the creaky old hallway. The voice on the other side of my door wasn't my brother. "Sarah," it said again, a little impatient now. "Come on, open the door. Let's go look together." It was a perfect imitation. Every inflection, every lazy drawl, was exactly Leo. I pressed my hand over my mouth to stop myself from screaming. I didn't make a sound. I heard a low sigh from the hallway. Then, footsteps walked away from my door. They went down the hall, and I heard the distinct sound of the front door unlocking and opening. A cold, wet draft slithered under my door. It was inside. I don't know how long I lay there, trembling. The house was silent again. Had it left? Had it gone to Leo's room? Just as I was about to risk getting up to check, my phone buzzed on the nightstand. A text from Leo. "Dude, are you okay? I'm hearing weird stuff. Sounds like someone's walking around in the house." The text was from Leo. He was in his room. He was safe. The thing that had mimicked his voice, the thing that was now in our house, was not him. Terror, pure and absolute, seized me. I texted back, my fingers shaking so badly I could barely type. "Do not open your door. Do not make a sound. It's inside." He replied instantly with a single question mark. Then, a moment later, "Oh God." We stayed locked in our rooms for the rest of the night, texting each other in a frantic, terrified shorthand. We heard it walking around the living room. We heard it opening and closing cupboard doors. We heard it stop outside each of our doors and just stand there, listening. The worst was when it spoke again. This time, it used my grandma's voice. It was a perfect, gentle, loving copy. "Sarah, honey," it crooned from the hallway. "It's your grandma. It's okay now. The fog is lifting. "You can come out, sweetie." Tears streamed down my face. I wanted so badly to believe it, to have my grandma there, to tell me everything was going to be okay. But I knew it was a lie. A beautiful, cruel lie. It finally left, just as the first gray light of dawn began to filter through the window. We heard the front door open and close. The oppressive silence lifted, and the normal sounds of the forest slowly returned. Leo and I didn't leave our rooms until the sun was fully up. We met in the hallway, pale and shaking, and hugged each other like we were little kids again. We didn't say a word. We just packed the car in record time and got out of there. We never went back. We hired a company to finish clearing out the cottage and sold it. But sometimes, on a particularly foggy night here in the city, I'll wake up feeling that same deep chill. And I'll lie there in the dark, praying I don't hear a soft, polite knock at my apartment door. Or worse, the voice of someone I love, calling my name from the other side. My grandma's sayings weren't silly old stories. They were warnings. And I finally understand why she was so afraid of the fog.